Welcome, everybody. I'm Heidi Burkemper, and I'm coming to you from Aspen, Colorado. And I am so excited today to share with you my favorite thing. I've been doing this welcome email and orientation call probably 3 months into my business because I identified a problem. Here's the problem I identified, and then I came up with a solution. So I identified this problem. I remember doing a Tuesday training, and I was just sharing this with Jordan. Back when I lived in St. Louis, there were about 15 people there, and I said, raise your hand if you feel responsible for anyone's auto ship other than your own. And every single person in the room raised their hand. And that's a problem. Why is it a problem? Because we are trying to build a business. We're trying to impact world health and free people from physical and financial pain. And you want to put a huge, you want to put sludge in that, in the engine, then start feeling responsible for everybody's auto ship. I mean, that will slow you down like you can't believe. So I started this orientation call with the objective to acquaint people with how to maximize their Isagenix account, maximize their product success by providing tools and resources so that will support their product success, maximizing their success in reaching their goals. And at that point, during the orientation call, really identifying where they are, taking their temperature. Are you a 1, a 2, or a 3? Are you interested, 1, in just being a product user? 2, are you interested in sharing the products with others? Who do you know who wants to get healthy and save money on their groceries? Or 3, are you interested or at least intrigued with the business opportunity behind these products? I believe it's premature to even start talking about that before someone says, yes, I see the value in the nutritional technology. I see the value in this. I get it. I'm buying in to the whole concept of Isagenix. To me, that's the first step. Once they buy into that, the products, then the next step is to introduce them to the different ways we can benefit from Isagenix. So the other thing is delegating the auto ship. So there's lots of reasons we do the orientation call. And Jordan, what I'd love for you to do it because you just started to implement it, and it's something that Jordan's above me, so we didn't really even know, but I just love that we're all locking arms and sprinting together. But Jordan, if you don't mind sharing what you feel and see as the benefit of this orientation call now that you've started to implement it.
Yeah, absolutely. Heidi, I'm so glad you asked me to share today because we started talking about this probably last summer, and it took me a little while to really start implementing it. And Heidi did my first one, and it was such a conversation, and we have a script to follow. And the thing is, it does not sound scripted at all. The way you worded everything, it was just a conversation. And I just shared with Heidi that, it's almost like the way my mindset is around this, I feel so obligated to conduct an orientation call with every single person I sign up, because, in the past I would sign them up and I don't know, in the past, I didn't really do a great job at all of my follow-ups, and I signed people up and let them go. And now, people get the sense that I am so invested in their success, and I'm invested in their results. I'm invested in their journey, and they feel that. And, and I am invested. And so, by doing these orientation calls, I feel like if someone is going to sign up with you and not with, someone else, what's going to make you different? Why would someone want to sign up with you? I feel like this orientation call has really set us apart because, once when they do partner with you, once when they get their account, they don't know what to do, honestly. I mean, our back office is great, but for new eyes that's just coming in, it is overwhelming. And I mean, I did trial and error. I don't even know how many times. And, I had this one girl on my team. The first time she tried enrolling someone and trying to figure out the auto ship and setting it up, she thought she was putting in her order like 3 or 4 times. So I really feel like, doing these, I'm sorry for all the dings on my side. I don't know. I somehow started iMessaging through my phone and my computer, and I don't know how to turn them off. But so I apologize for the dings. But so going through the orientation call and really walking them through their account and taking the time to show them, this is where you place your order. This is where you go to change your auto ship. These are the benefits to being on auto ship. These, this is where people start to ask you what you're doing. This is where you're going to enroll them. And I really love that it's just so natural and something that I would say, anyway, this won't make sense to you right now. And I love that Heidi put that right into the orientation call because, throughout the orientation call, we're their tour guide, but we're also dripping a little bit along the way. And, when I would enroll someone, I would always, it was like word vomit. Like I would Isagenix vomit and my enrollment would take so long because I felt like I had to do everything all at that one time while I had them on the phone. And that was just a nightmare. A lot of times my kids were in the background. They're like, Mom, Mom, Mom. So for the sake of time in the enrollment and getting them there, then saying, okay, now that we got you set up, I want to make sure that you know exactly how to use your account, how to maximize your membership. And we're going to set up a call and I'm going to show you exactly what to do to place your next order and how to manage your auto ship, where to go to find all the resources that are available to you. And they love it. And, and then at the end, I love that Heidi incorporated this, how can I follow up with you best? Are you just interested in the products at this time? Would you be interested in getting some of your products paid for? Or are you, would you be interested in taking a look at the income opportunity? And, for my first, I don't know, my first handful of orientation calls, everyone was just interested in the products. So I knew how to follow up with them on that. But I remember the first time, I had 2 people back to back say that they wanted to set up another call. And I messaged Heidi, I'm like, now what? Because I wasn't prepared for that. And it was, it was really nice because it's just so crystal clear. And everybody, gets access to the same information. I don't have to ever worry about, oh, did I forget to tell this person this? Oh, did I forget to tell that person that? Because as a mom, wife, my schedule's so full that I cannot take on the responsibility of managing someone else's auto ship schedule. Half the time I forget my own auto ship schedule and I have things that'll come to me that I totally forgot about. So I have an abundance of coffee, which is great, but sometimes I just forget about my own schedule too. So, the last thing that I want as someone that's signing someone up is to give that person a reason to be upset with Isagenix and have them say, oh, Isagenix took money out of my account. Isagenix, started sending me my $300 order, over and over and over again. And that's the last thing I want. So, as a way of just giving them best customer service, these orientation calls are so crucial. And I'm so glad I started adapting them because, my clients love them. My business builders love them because after we had done a few together, they felt really comfortable doing it themselves. And that is really duplicating. And it's so spot on. I love them. And if you're not doing them, start doing them. And, we can do the first couple for you, but you'll find that as you just, if you just practice it once, it rolls right off the tongue because it's so conversational. It's very conversational, and you start to put your own little personality to it too. And they'll feel that, they'll know it. And again, they're going to really feel that you are completely invested in their success. And there's nothing else like that. I love that moment that they're like, wow, thank you. Thank you for taking the time. And, you know, I was watching Brandt's testimony that he did, his video that he did. He had shared it on Facebook. And Brandt, I loved it. I love your story. But one thing that I really love that he said was that someone took the time. And in his case, someone took the time to share Isagenix with him. But, you know, what if we can all just take the time to really do the work up front, invest in our new people up front, and then, you know, and just really empower them. And I think if we can do that, we are going to have such a rock solid foundation, and it's just going to be great. I love this, Heidi. If you can't tell, I love the orientation call and all the ripple effects that it's had since.
Jordan, thank you so much. And there's a couple of things that I love that you said is, you know, it creates engagement. You know, once they're enrolled, you give them the resources and tools to engage them further and to let them know, you know, what else is available. So before we get into the meat and potatoes of the orientation call, which, by the way, guys, the welcome email and the orientation call go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. So just to go over, and I do this on every single call, but guys, talk about having the tracks to run on. The prospecting, remember that we're working with 3 categories of people in our business. We are working with prospects in an effort to determine whether our Isagenix solutions are a fit for them or not. Okay, and then we are working with product users in an effort to help maximize their product experience. And last but not least, we're working with business partners in an effort to help them to maximize the success financially in their business and free people from physical and financial pain, right? That's the whole idea of this. And again, each of these tracking sheets, it's so paint by number. Up here, you'll see video trainings that are the how of what we do. And then you'll see below that video training step, the what. And we've gone through, we finished the prospecting, and last week we did enroll new associate and send welcome email. So guys, once we enroll an associate and send a welcome email, they're now what, Jordan? Are they a prospect? Uh-oh, we can't hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. I didn't want the ding to annoy you guys. No, once we sign up the welcome, once we send out the welcome email, now we just move right into that orientation call, and now they're engaging. And this tracking sheet is just brilliant because it's like next. It just takes out all the thinking. And with 3 different pages to manage, and Heidi, I don't know about you, but I tend to get really overwhelmed very quickly. And when I do that, I shut down right away. And I'm like, whatever. Right. And I can't do that. But then I'm also a list maker. And, you know, having this, it just takes the thoughts and just, you know, I don't even have to think about it because everything is just right there. And I love these links. That it's just, oh, just press this, done, it's right there. Just press this, boom, it's right there. So the welcome email and the orientation call together with these tracking sheets, brilliant.
Easy. And guys, you're gonna see lots of welcome emails out there. Okay, you know, like Lynn might use a different one, Lisa might use, but here's the thing that I love about this one is that it coordinates with the orientation call. And it provides all the tools. All we do really during this orientation call is we equip our new product user. We equip them with all the resources on how to manage their account, how to, you know, do their auto rewards program, how to maximize their product success, and how to, you know, if they're a 1, 2, or 3. So we're going to go through this really quick. The welcome email, guys, part of the idea about this welcome email is to create community. So Jordan, you do a great job of copying me and others that are committed to the new associate success on this welcome email. So it's really, again, we're getting our new product user engaged in this whole Isagenix culture. Mm-hmm. And, basically what we tell them to do in the enrollment, and again, if we go back to the enrollment, when people say to me, oh, Heidi, that sounds great. I'd love to do an orientation call with my people, but I can never get it set up. And it's like, well, wait a minute. I've never not had an orientation done, because it's not a question of, hey, can you do an orientation call? It's the next step is we set up an orientation call so I can show you how to maximize your product experience. Guys, this is so important. This is during the enrollment. My enrollment calls are 5 minutes. They're ready to enroll, get their information, and get them in the computer. Don't start blabbing, okay? A confused mind says no. The more you talk, the more chance they're going to back out.
And Heidi, can I say?
And when they start asking questions, sure.
I'm sorry. No, finish that thought. Something that I say, going back to, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, with anyone who's having a hard time scheduling these calls, as soon as I hit the confirm button once when I get all their information, depending if I'm enrolling them on the spot or writing it down, I'll say, okay, now just like Heidi said, the next step is to schedule our orientation call. And, we do this before your products arrive. This way you have access to the links that's going to show you exactly what to do before you even open up your box. Because once you get all the products, you're going to look at this and, think, oh my gosh, what do I do next? So I really hype up the orientation call as a way of getting them set up for success. And it's always before their order comes in. And I'll even say sometimes, it'll take about 3 to 5 business days for your products to come in. So when can we schedule your orientation call? We have, I can do this day, or this day. Do any of those work for you? And just really, just keep guiding that conversation and staying in control of that conversation and leading it into that.
Thank you, Jordan. Exactly. Stay in control of the conversation. Don't let them control it. Well, wait a minute. You know what? I'm ready to order a President's Pack, but how do you use it? What do you do? We're going to cover all of that in the orientation call. You're going to be so excited to rip open your box and get started. Once we conduct this orientation call, I'm going to equip you with all the tools, the support, and the resources to absolutely maximize all of your goals. So you guys definitely, be a professional, and professionals take the reins and guide the new associate. They're not telling you what to do. You're telling them the next step is to set up the orientation call. It's so important. Okay, so you get their information. That's the only thing you do in the enrollment. We went over that last week. You can review that video in the prospecting tracking sheet. It's all there. So we send them this, and we tee this up. We tee up the orientation call by saying exactly what Jordan said. Let's set up the orientation call within the next 48 hours. So you're, ready to rip your box open. You're going to receive an email. The subject line is going to be "Welcome to the ISA Dream Team," and you're going to want to have that pulled up for this interactive call. And we're going to go through all of the content in the welcome email. So guys, a lot of people pull up this welcome email and you've got a really big fish if they've already gone through this and they've looked at their back office, because everything is here, the username, the password, etc., how to manage auto rewards. And they're already engaged before you've ever even conducted the orientation call. But anyway, if you can see this, we basically take them to the Isagenix site. We show them how to log into their back office. We show them their front office. We show them how to, we delegate auto rewards. It's on them, not us. And what we're going to do is, here's the script that Jordan mentioned. And as she said, it's very conversational and it's really easy. They're looking at the welcome email while you're reading this. And, you know, like Jordan said, I did the first one with her. And that's really all she needed. But guys, guys, if I hear some background noise, if you can go ahead and mute yourself out, that would be amazing. Okay, wait, I'm going to go ahead and mute all. There we go. And so guys, you know, I don't know if it would be helpful to go through. I'm actually going to unmute everybody. And let me know if you think it would be helpful for Jordan and I to go through this script. And so you know exactly what orientation looks like. So hold on. Okay, guys, would it be helpful to go through this orientation call, the script, Jordan and I, or no?
Heidi, yes. I have a question, or I guess a statement. Can you hear me? Okay.
Hi, Rita.
On the orientation call, the last several times I've worked through this call, when I have them in their back office and I'm trying to explain the movies, it doesn't click through as it's presented in the script. They can't get to the same place from where they're at. And I don't know if it's a difference on, you know, what device they're using, but anyway, it's just happened repeatedly. And so I don't know if there's maybe been a change on the back office since this was set up, or something. It's as they are trying to find, you're trying to tell them about the ISA movies.
I mean, when we take them in the orientation first, it says this is exactly what it says. And again, we can go through the orientation script, and you all can get on the welcome email and follow it as if you're a new associate. But we take them to their website, and we take them to their front office. We say, if you click on the fifth, if you go to the top of the green bar at the top and you click on the fifth link to the right that says ISA movie, you're going to see all of our ISA movies. And we encourage you to watch those, watch the ones that resonate with the goals that you're looking to achieve. I don't see why you're having an issue with that. There shouldn't be. I never have.
I think I know what the problem is, Rita, is that they could be trying to access their ISA movie from their back office. And so just let them know that when they're going to the fifth tab over, personal website, not the back office.
It's not the back office, it's only their website.
Their website, exactly.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've ran into that a few times, and I'm glad you brought that up. And then as I was looking at Heidi's website, I noticed that she's on her personal website and not her back office. That's the difference.
Okay. Because as we're going through that script, they are in their back office, not in their specific website. So, okay, I'll just make a note of that.
Rita, let me show you. I'm going to pull this up so you can. And this is why, guys, Rita is really a professional, and this is why you've got to do this with someone who knows what they're doing the first few times. So can everybody see my screen? Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
The orientation call. Okay. So here is where Rita's talking about. Okay. Website introduction. Okay. We're in their back office. But look, so moving on, let's return to the green bar, then put your cursor over resources. The fourth link down on the left side says manage my website. Click on that. scroll down to the middle of the page where you'll see a blue link to your personal website. Okay, look. Okay, click on the blue link and we'll check out your website. So you're in your they're in their back office, but once they click on that blue link, it takes them to their front office. So if you follow this script, that shouldn't happen. Does that make sense for that?
Okay, scroll back up if you would, Heidi. Okay, so where you're at right before the website introduction, where are you at right before the website introduction?
We show them.
You're in the back office.
Okay, I'm going to go to my back office so you guys can see this. But like I said, this should not be an issue. You're telling them, you tell them to go to resources, you tell them to go to the fourth link down to manage my website, and you tell them to go to the middle of the page and you show them this, that they have their own personal website. They click on that. And then you tell them to go to the fifth link on the right, back to the green bar, and click on iSamovie. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I wasn't directing them back to their...
Here's the thing. If you follow this script, they will go there because you're telling them exactly what to do. The fourth link down on the left says manage my website. Click on that. Scroll down to the middle page. You're going to see a blue link to your personal website. We use your first and last name as your username because whether you choose to use it or not, the first part of your Isagenix web address defaults to your username. So in other words, your web address is ritamartin.isagenix.com. Okay, and then, you know, they go right there. And then, okay, let's go back to our favorite green bar. There's a green bar on the ISA Dream Team. There's a green bar on isagenix.com, back office and front office, and you show them the iSamovies.
I just got them in the wrong office, so okay. Or not in their website.
So, again, if you follow this orientation script, they're here and you're directing them with that orientation script. And then after we do that, we say, go back to your welcome email and I'm going to show you how to maximize your results. After you show them their back office, their front office, and then you show them how to maximize your results. You introduce them to the Fresh Start page. You introduce them to these 2 awesome videos that they can refer to on how to do a shake and how to do a cleanse day. You show them the shake day. You basically just, as Jordan said, you're their tour guide. Here's the shake and cleanse day planner. Here's the healthy recipes. Here's your Isagenix menu. Here's these 2 amazing, support tools that Isagenix provides, the IsaBody Challenge and the Healthy Mind and Body. So basically, everything, and we let them know we're going to go through a ton of stuff, but you'll never, ever need to know more than what's on this welcome email. And I'm just going to, show you these. And you're a click away from any of the information we've gone over in this orientation call. So Rita, does that make sense? But that's why.
Yeah, I got mixed up between the 2. And thanks, Jordan. You were very helpful as well.
I've been there. I got that mixed up too.
And again, guys, I want you to be really comfortable with this because I think this is not only for them, but for you. You need to know everything in the orientation call, out, inside out, backwards, forwards. You need to know it. You need to know these resources. and you're going to be using them over and over and over again in your business. Like I just, you know, even though you do the orientation call, I had somebody text me the other day, do you have any recipes? Well, guess what? I've already showed them the recipes. There's recipes in the welcome email, right? There's a link to healthy recipes in the welcome email. However, all I did was text them, like, look, here's the healthy recipes right here. It's in their welcome email, but you know what? We give a lot of information. So, you know, I might just copy and paste this into a text and say, here you go. Here's a link to all these recipes. There's great recipes for shakes for weight loss. There's great low calorie entrees for your third meal. There's shakes for maintenance, kid-friendly recipes. Here you go. So everything, you're going to just be utilizing and reusing all the information in this orientation call again and again and again to support your product users. Does that make sense?
And you know what, Heidi, one thing that I really love about this call too is the symptoms, are the symptoms to expect. Because in the beginning of my business, I would always talk about how great they're going to feel once when it's over. And I had a lot of people that stopped the products, that returned them. I had a lot of returns early on in my business. And, you know, through some coaching, I learned that I was, without realizing it, I was overhyping. I was overhyping how great they're going to feel, which we know they're going to feel great. But we forget sometimes about the month that they might go through in the beginning. You know, that first week is really, really hard. So I love that in the orientation call, we can be really open and honest and let them know these are the things that you might be experiencing. You're going to feel amazing, but this is what's normal. Because a lot of times, I had one client who experienced niacin flushing, and she thought she was having an allergic reaction. And I didn't know anything about it, so I thought she was having.
Oh, okay, hold on, Jordan. Can you unmute yourself? Sorry about that.
It's okay. So I didn't know anything about it, so I thought she was having an allergic reaction too. And I'm like, well, maybe you should stop. It's really, I learned a lot along the years. So it's really nice having this right here. So that way, when they are experiencing something, they can go back to their welcome email. We can send them back to their welcome email, and it's just all there. So I love this. I love this part of it.
I do too. And guys, you know, one of the things you need to know about this orientation call. So I'm just going to go through that really quick. So Jordan, the symptoms to expect document, remember, Jordan's looking at her welcome email and there's a link to the symptoms to expect. Now, I don't read the entire document, but I say this, I plant a seed with Jordan. It explains how becoming nutritionally fit, just like becoming physically fit, may not always be paved in perfect comfort. Most people feel better almost immediately. I did. But know that at first it's very normal to feel a little uncomfortable as your body acclimates to the higher nutrition. And, you know, your first week can be really challenging. So make sure to reach out for support if you're struggling. Okay, here's another thing. So wrapping things up, the product fast facts link. Now, guys, here's the thing. I love, Jordan, how you said, I felt like I had to tell somebody everything about Isagenix in this period of time. And you're vomiting on them. We're not vomiting. This is a conversation. You know, most people don't know, guys, that we have over 55 products, that we have an amazing skincare system. So introduce them to this. You're going to love, you have access through your wholesale account, Jordan, to over 55 amazing products. So definitely take a look at this Isagenix menu, which provides an explanation and all the benefits associated with each product available to you. Okay, so this,
because you know what, when I first started, a lot of people thought it was a 30-day system and that was it. And you know,
Right.
not knowing that there is this whole, you know, array of products that's going to help them with their long-term maintenance. And a lot of my clients were one and dones in the beginning. So I remember I had an orientation call with, and I showed them this, and they thought, or they said to me, they said, well, I just didn't know. I just thought you do a 30-day cleanse and that's it. So another reason to do these.
Well, in the orientation call, you know, when you're doing the auto ship part, that explains it. You know, this is a lifestyle, not a diet. And, you know, we're going to wrap up, guys, with determine if enrollee is a 1, 2, or 3. Guys, they're deciding, you're not deciding where they are, you know, if they're a 1, 2, or 3. So let me go through this language because I think this is so important. So Jordan, in order to know how to best follow up with you, I'd like to ask if you are a 1, 2, or 3. In order to know how to best follow up with you, not, you know, oh, Heidi's trying to get me to be a 3. I'm not trying to get anyone to do anything. I'm asking them, how can I provide white glove service? How can I be of service to you? Are you a 1? You're only interested in using the products? It's about 82% of my clientele. 2, you're interested in introducing Isagenix to some friends and family to offset the cost of your products or even get your products paid for. Or 3, you're interested or at least intrigued, I'm going to add that, in learning how Isagenix can help you create an additional stream of income. Okay, guys, this is so important. And here is, if they answer 1, you say this. If they answer 2, you say this. If they answer 3, you say this. This is paint by number. So I'm going to wrap it up there. I mean, as much as this call was so useful, when you do your first orientation call, you're going to learn so much. This call is so robust. There's so much in it. Okay, I am going to go ahead and, guys, if you want to unmute yourself, I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to turn off the recording, and then I'm going to open up the meeting for any, if anyone has any questions.